Okay, on the bench this morning, a Sansui G2000. The guy brought it over to me. He's saying it's playing perfectly, but the only problem that he's having is the mono stereo switch. The stereo, when he presses stereo button, only on the phono output. The rest of the outputs, it does work. And he says when he presses the stereo button, when he's playing record, it only plays on one side. So he brought it to me. Go take a look at it. It looks really in good shape. The guy even put tape around here. You think he's trying to tell me something? Anyways, I'm gonna power this on and see what's going on. Okay, I found an issue with the right channel, and I wanted to show you guys what I found. I've got it hooked up on my auxiliary, and I'm playing some music. There's the light. There's the right channel. It's very distorted. The left channel is perfect. Just distortion. And I'll show you the distortion on the scope. I'll throw in a sine wave. Okay, I'm giving you 1000 Hertz. There it is. I'll mute this. Okay, here we go. You can clearly see on the scope. The yellow wave is the left channel, and the purple wave is the right channel. Oh, I'm going to crank this up here. There it is. I've only got half a wave on the right channel. And there's my right channel. Clearly see that we have an issue. Okay? That issue that I see on my scope is usually, it's either a resistor that's open, or it could very well be a transistor. And I'll zoom that in here. Okay, so I have my output transistor behind this panel here, but in the front here are my emitter resistor. I'll be checking those. Okay, I've unplugged everything. I'm just checking my emitter resistor. 0.5 ohm. 0.5 ohm. Checking the right. 0.5 ohm, that's good. Check this one. The very last one is 0.5 ohm, so it's not my emitter resistor. So we'll continue on to see where my issue is coming from. I do believe it's the output. Not sure if I should have any voltage on this. 0.6, and I think 0.6 is normal. 5 volt is not normal. I'll see if I can't measure. I should be able to. This one there. This is my bias. Got 7 millivolts, which is not bad. I got 14 millivolts on this one. I believe the emitter resistor, when I set the bias, this shouldn't be more than 10, but that's not a big deal. The big deal is I'm getting voltage off of this resistor here, 5 volts. And if I compare it with the other one, this is the left. I'm checking the left right now. It should be 0.6. And it's giving me 5 volts. Since I have an issue with the right channel, this is totally the opposite of what you think. This is the right channel and this is the left channel. It's kind of divided in two. This is the left and this is the right. Okay, so I'm going to take some measurements with the output transistors. I'm pretty sure there's an issue with the output. This is a good output transistor right here. 0.6, and this is what I should be getting. Check this one, and this one is giving me 5 volts. All the other ones that I'm checking, regardless if it's minus or plus, I'm getting the same voltage out of those three. 0.5, 0.6, 0.5, 0.6. But when I reach to this one, I've got 5 volts. I'd have to look at the transistor, but I'm pretty sure this transistor is not working properly. Okay, we're going to check some voltage for the right channel, comparing with the left channel. This is how I go about to find stuff. Since I have distortion on the right, the left channel is fine. I know I can compare the left with the right. Okay, this is the power amp for the Sansui G2000. These TR18 and TR16, those are my output transistor for the right channel. My issue with this is I'm having 5 volts right here at the base. This is the base of my transistor. This is the collector. This is the emitter because it has the arrow. So wherever you have an arrow, that will be the emitter, collector, and this is the base. At the base of this transistor, one of them, I'm getting 5 volts, which I shouldn't. I should be getting 0.6 volts. Okay, so I know I have an issue with this transistor. This one is perfect, and you guys could see that I was measuring 0.6 volts. So this is where my issue is. At the base of this transistor, I'm getting 5 volts, and I should only be getting 0.6. It's pretty hard to check a transistor when it's in circuit. You always have all these components when you're measuring, and it's never really accurate. But when you pinpoint your issue, knowing that I do have 5 volts here and I shouldn't have 5 volts, it's either this resistor or this transistor. I've checked these resistors and they're okay. So either junction, collector, and the emitter, I believe, is open. And I'm going to take it out of circuit and I'm going to check it. I need to expose my outputs. So let's see how this works. There. Snap that part. There we go. Okay, so this has exposed the outputs, and this is the one that I believe has the issue. Okay. This is too big. I think I'll use this one. This is pretty loose. Right? How about this one? This one is tight. This one is really loose. This one is tight. This one is a bit loose as well. Okay. It's just going to fall in my hand. I got it right here. And this is a B507 Sanyo. Now, we should be able to test this. Okay, we'll test the output transistor B507. It's a PNP. I'll put this on diode mode. So the PNP, this one here, number one here, that's the base. So I'll put my negative probe on the base, and I'm going to check junction C, which is the collector, and I have a good junction, 0.5 voltage drop. So that's good. Now let's try the emitter. I should have a junction voltage drop there as well, and it's open. This one is good. This one is bad. The collector to the emitter junction is open. This transistor needs to be replaced, so I'll have to find a replacement for this. For good measurement, I'm going to take this one out as well, and because if you do replace one, I believe that it's a good idea to match them. So even though it would still be good, it's a good idea to match. So we'll take it out anyway, we'll measure it. So, good possibility that it's still good. And this is a 2SD313. Believe this is base. Where's my... Yeah, I can see that. There's base. This one is, this junction is good, and this junction is good. So this transistor is testing good. We'll do the collector emitter, and it's good. So this was the issue. Okay guys, these are the transistors that came from the Sansui. They're B507 and D313. I have replacement. So the PNP was replaced with the 15029G, and the NPN was replaced with the 15028. I've checked the gain just to see if I would have a match, because I had several of those transistors here, and this is as close as I could get. Okay, the HFE 155 and 145. That's as close as I could get. I feel okay with that. So I'm going to replace my transistors with these two, but if you noticed on here, there's a plastic washer that we need to put in, because the screw is not supposed to touch any of the metal, because the screw will be screwed into the heatsink, right? So you need to put, don't forget to put these plastic washers in there. Okay, so all they do is they clip off of this. Put them on here, and we'll have to make sure that we have these. I'll put some new cooler paste, and this should be okay. You know what? I need to get some of this. And you don't need a whole lot, because you're going to get an awful mess if you do. Okay. Something like this is totally acceptable. Okay. Oop, and I lost my cap. My plastic washer. There you go. Yep. There we go. I hate this pace, oh my god. Okay, so we're good to put this back together. Put this here for now. Is the 29. This is the P&P right here. Okay, goes in there. And we're good to go. Okay, put this in. Okay, so this is where I'm going to be soldering. So we're going to solder this and we should be good to go. I'm hoping anyway. I always have to double check because you know how it is. Yeah, it's perfect. Before I try this, I want to make sure, okay? I just want to make sure that I'm well insulated. See, these screws are to ground, but there, not touching. Okay? And that's what we want. Let's try the other ones. The other ones are not touching either, so we're good. Right channel, no more distortion. Now that I've got the output transistors replace for the right channel, the distortion has totally disappeared. I have no more distortion. So this part here of the receiver is fixed at 100%. Every other components check and they're good. Now we still have an issue. The issue is the mono and right here, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the mono and stereo push in and out button. Okay, this stereo mono works everywhere other than the phono. I have an issue when I press the phono. The stereo only plays on the left channel. The right channel does not work on the stereo, but if I press mono, both channels are working. I don't believe my issue is the switch. My issue relies on the phono circuitry, which is located right here. This is my phono. Okay, and I notice some of the soldering on these resistor R74, R72, 73, and 74. For some reason, somebody had touched them and the soldering wasn't what it should have been. So I've resoldered them. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check these orange caps. I believe these orange caps, these are 50 volts. 3.3 at 50 volts. There's a possibility that these capacitors ESR is pretty high. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They were still good, but I'll change it anyway. Okay, so I'll replace these 3.3 microfarad at 50 volts. I'll replace it with these brand new Nichicon, and I think it's going to be right on. Those two there, I threw them in the garbage. Right here, I'll solder this. Okay, I think this is good to go. There we go. Snap on. Snap-on tools. All right. Okay, we've put the back panel back on. I feel that everything that the customer wanted on this receiver has been achieved. So his issue was the stereo mono thing on phono output. As soon as you put it on stereo, there was only one left channel that was playing. The right channel wasn't playing, and if you put it on mono, both channels were playing. So that was an issue with the resistor 73, 72, 73, and 74, which is the phono board right back here. Okay, the soldering was not up to par, and I've changed to the capacitors 3.3 microfarad at 50 volts. I've changed those, so this phono board is back in service. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to check my bias. There you go. All right, I'm going to do the left channel. Hook my clips to the emitter resistor. For the left channel, we'll start with that one. And I should have 10 millivolts, but I'll let this run This needs to be in neutral. Neutral, no volume, loudness is off. Okay, put this on auxiliary. Okay, so we're going to let this warm up a little bit, and I'm going to go get the schematic while this warms up. I just want to make sure that it is 10 millivolts. I'm pretty sure it is, but all right. Sansui G2000. Imagine. Let's see where my adjustment things are on us. There it is. Here's the bias current, left and the right channel. Hook up your multimeter. See the above. So this is the picture there that they want me to hook up my two probes on the multimeter. And this is the emitter resistor for each channel. So I'll measure those two and I should get 10 millivolts. Or if you want to go really complicated, 15 milliamps. But I'm not doing 15 milliamps. Okay, so right now I have 15 millivolts. That's quite high. I'm going to start raising this down a little bit. Okay, so here's the pod. Watch these numbers go down. There they go. See, I'm going to bring this as close as 10 as I can. There's 10.4. So 10.5. And this was the left channel, by the way. It's totally the opposite. You would think that the left is on here, but actually the left is here and this is the right. So 10.5. It's still in the warm-up period, so we'll let it warm up for another 5 minutes. I don't mind that. I got all kinds of time. .2. That's pretty cool. Let's try the left channel. One probe. No, I'm sorry, that's the right channel. See, I got mixed up myself. There, and we all know that the right channel, I have changed the transistors, the output transistors, so we needed to do this. This was a must. We needed to check the bias because I've changed the output transistor. And I did actually change this one. This was the right channel. So we'll bring this up. This is a bit low, 3.9. So we'll bring this up to 10. Make it equal on both channels. Okay, here we go. This receiver is going to thank me for it. .1. That's pretty damn close. Okay. So this is the right channel, 10.1. The left channel is at 10.2, I think it was. We'll recheck it, make sure that nothing's changed since I've done this adjustment. 10.4, I'm going to leave it like that. I am really happy with this. The next step. Okay, now that the bias has been set, I would like to see if I have any DC voltage. DC voltage is coming up. Let's check it out. 0.002. That's pretty damn good. Let's go the left right channel. 0.003. There is absolutely no DC voltage on this. Now, final step. I'm going to do the sound test. Here's my frequency generator at 1000 Hertz, and I'll mute this. I'm not going to listen to this, and I'll put on both channels. We'll go to 10 volts per division on each channel, and let's try this. I'm under an 8 ohm load and I have some distortion here, so I need to kick it back. There we go, and I'm at 13.20. There's my balance. Balance works really nice. Okay. So I could probably put this to 5 volts per division if I wanted to, because this is not a really powerful amp. There, I have some distortion there, but yeah, 13.20 RMS. So we'll add this up to 13 times 2. Divide that by, I have an 8 ohm load, and that'll give us our watts per channel, and I'm pretty confident that this is above. This is supposed to be a 15 or 16 watts. I'm pretty sure we're close to 20 with this. We'll kick this back. I'm getting 21.78 watts per channel with no distortion, and this was only rated at 15. Well, that's pretty damn cool. Alright, so this is a fixed, and I'm pretty happy with this. Customer is going to be happy too, I'm hoping anyway. We're going to kick this back, put it back together, and I'm going to call the customer. Okay, there you have it. Okay, the output on the right channel, the PNP is this one here that was open at the collector emitter. But I had to replace this one to pair them up. So they're gonna work well. I've replaced them with the 15028 and 15029 PNP and NPN. And in the phono section, this is the phono section right here. I had an issue with these resistors here. I had some lead that was fusing these 3 resistors. So anyways, I've cleaned them all up. I've retouched the soldering in the back here as well, and I've also changed these 33 microfarad at 50 volts. These 2 resistors were orange, and they were just starting with higher than usual ESR. They were still operational. I took the initiative of changing them. This will eliminate some issues down the road. I think the customer is going to be happy about that. Other than that, this receiver is in tip-top shape. I'm going to put it together and I'll call him up to pick it up. So this is the issue that we had, was the mono to stereo on the phono output. As you can tell, both working, both channels. So this is also a fix. I've repaired two issues with this receiver. The output transistor on the right, and on the phono stage we had some soldering that wasn't 100%. Anyways, if you like my video, thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it.